across America, millions of people are preparing for an apocalypse. Some believe a deadly plague will destroy the human race.
We are long overdue for a bubonic plague pandemic. It's the day of reckoning that's coming soon.
Others are convinced the end will come in a mutiny of the machines.
Being a soldier in Iraq, seeing those drones used firsthand, I know what they were capable of.
While others think mankind will be annihilated by an alien invasion.
Get over your ego and your attitude and prepare yourself to be a homeless hobo. The party's over.
You could live here for years if you wanted to.
Is this all just personal paranoia? Not according to a growing body of scientists and academics.
No one wants to talk about the risk, not governments, not scientists, because it is so terrifying and we're unable to do anything about it in advance.
If an alien civilization has the technology required to move its entire population to a different planet, we cannot win. We will be forced to either surrender or go extinct.
When all hell breaks loose, we're going to have to go back to the basics. You think other Americans are going to...
No, the Russian offensive biological weapons program has been largely dismantled, but there are still some laboratories in the west of Siberia and so on where we're not really sure what goes on.
Security agencies scour the world looking for potential threats from bioterrorism, but nature throws up many more close calls. Thousands of cases are reported every year, like the teenager who died in Kyrgyzstan after eating an infected marmot. Government agencies know a mass outbreak is just a plane ride away, and panic spreads easily, as it did in Surat in India. 500,000 people fled the city when hundreds were infected by plague-ridden rats. Even today, few knew how close New York came to a deadly outbreak 1 year after 9/11, when a couple from New Mexico checked into a hotel for the weekend.
The first case of bubonic plague to occur in New York City in 100 years happened.
Good evening, I'm Harold Green.
I'm Laura Diaz.
This is Eyewitness News at 6 o'clock. The city of Los Angeles is now under a dusk till dawn curfew, and the National Guard has moved in to reinforce the besieged Los Angeles Police Department. Thus far, our latest calculations show that at least 13 people have been killed since the December.
Attacked by a mob of at least 20 to 30 people. We were shooting them as they were They turned on us and attacked the cameraman as well as myself. The camera was dropped on the ground and lost. Behind me you see a strip of stores that was torched only within the past hour, a hotel, a Vermont sandwich shop, furniture shop as well. The looting took place.
The disturbing element is that shots have been fired here. I've got a young man here who witnessed that. What did you see?
The gentleman upstairs on the roof just came and started.
Hi, I'm Dave Norwoods. I was recently just featured on the Discovery Channel on a show called Apocalypse Preppers. I'm going to show you what surviving is all about.
John survived because his body was pumped full of antibiotics, but there are widespread fears that antibiotics are beginning to fail us.
We are so reliant on antibiotics, we don't realize that they are the one line of defense between us and an enormous number of unbelievably deadly diseases.
The battle between bacteria and antibiotics is an ongoing war, with bacteria constantly mutating to evade the genetic missiles of an antibiotic attack. After 70 years, it's a war that antibiotics are losing.
Our bodies are becoming less effective in being helped by antibiotics as well, because we're becoming resistant to them.
When a deadly pandemic does break out, we will have to resort to medieval ways of containment.
An epidemic version of plague that is resistant to antibiotics is going to leave us falling back on 500-year-old methods to deal with it. We will isolate cities, we will shut down our transport networks, and we will force people to stay where the disease is spreading as a way to stop it from spreading more widely.
The chaos that follows will undoubtedly lead to a meltdown.
That's a lot of graves to be dug. That's a lot of contamination in our water supply. And that's a lot of dead police officers, dead firefighters, dead nurses and doctors, people who normally would patch up the holes in our society. They're not there anymore.
Coming up, how one man intends to live like a caveman to survive an alien apocalypse.
This is going to save your life.
One apocalypse prepper is determined to be the last man standing. Dave Norwoods watches the horizon for spaceships. He fully expects a total indiscriminate bombardment, and on a scale we can't even imagine.
We're at the edge of Los Angeles. When the aliens attack, this is all going to burn, fry, and just literally go to hell. It's going to be tragic. It's not going to affect me. I'll be here watching. They're hungry for minerals, and that's why a lot of great wars are caused over minerals and food. So it's pretty obvious if those aliens are going to be coming here, bye-bye to the human race.
Attractive or not, Dave knows the only way to survive an alien apocalypse is to hide. For that, he's going to copy the ancient rituals of Native Americans by coating himself in Iwaki, or mud that heals, to ward off the aliens' heat-seeking probes.
One way to cloak you and hide you away from heat sensory technology that aliens have is to cake yourself with bentonite clay. Clay is going to completely seal you in your little body and keep you alive while the rest of the world burns up. Just take it and mush it all over your body. As you keep putting more on, it gets thicker and thicker, and you want as thick as possible, as much as you can on your body. Hopefully the aliens don't catch me, but if they do, I'm gonna look like I have disease, leprosy, cancer, filth, scum, and they're not gonna want to actually have my body. If I look this sick and warped, look, I look like a freaking dead zombie. And you know what? Food. It's not bad. This is gonna save your life.
Dave may seem crazy to some, but substances like clay and charcoal are currently offered to victims of radiation to help suck toxins from the body. But who is waiting for us? Friend or foe? Dave is taking no chances. He has boned up on plant knowledge, so if supply routes are cut off, the city streets will provide all the nutrition he needs, starting with prickly pear.
Oh my gosh, live, ripe fruit. Oh, look at that. You can see. This is a fruit that most people in the world don't know about and don't eat. In apocalyptic times, this fruit alone right here will sustain your life.
When hospitals close and medicine is in short supply, local plants will be the only way to fight infection.
You got dandelion over here. Take a look at this. Another medicinal herb. Teas, medicine, food. Tastes a little bit like mint. It's okay. If you're sick, you got problems, it'll help alleviate some pain.
Good hygiene is imperative to long-term survival, and that's where aloe vera comes in.
One of the top-of-the-line things for major problems like wounds, detoxing, disease, cholera, I mean the list goes on and on and on, is aloe vera. It's medicine from the gods. Now, you don't have to eat the whole thing, but I do, because the more you eat, the healthier it is. I like it raw. Also, one of the most powerful things about aloe vera is if you have burns and cuts and wounds, kind of stuff, you can put this all over your face. And you don't have to be afraid. You just, it's super healing, super healthy. If I were in an apocalyptic, bombed alien attack situation, and you're ripped up, burned, cut, bleeding to death, this would help save my life. It would help the bleeding stop, and it would already be helping coagulate my skin.
Start. I'm up here in Montana at a friend of mine's ranch where we are prepping for survival of a real true disaster and apocalypse. As you can see all around us here, there's nobody around for a long ways, and we practice survival techniques from hunting, shooting, fighting, wrestling. We plant food in gardens, we forage for food, we hunt for animals, we eat insects, we cook, we just do everything. We forage even for the frickin' leaves and dirt and clay. We just go for it. We have everything in this particular country to practice for survival. And the beauty of it is I multitask around the world with other preppers where we share each other's ideas. And this is the beauty of it, is being connected, knowing some people where you can share your secrets to be able to survive. At this location right here behind me, we have several barns, and we can raise all kinds of wild game: pigs, chickens, ducks, geese, deer, grizzlies, raccoons, beavers, the whole 9 yards. We will survive with no money. No, off the grid is what it's all about. At our hidden location right here, we have plenty of fields like this. You can see how big it is. Well, the reason why I'm showing you this is we plant our own fruits and vegetables, and the reason is it's 100% pure and organic. No Monsanto Roundup toxic stuff that frickin' injures you. We plant and grow and cook for medicinal reasons, so we will be able to survive. And on top of it, we eat the clay that protects you, detoxes you from radiation. We can survive. We grow our stuff in the spring usually, and it lasts all year long. We eat good.
The
You
gentleman
can see
upstairs,
apples,
up on top of the roof, just
plenty
came
of
and
food
started
going
shooting
on
me and my
off the
buddies.
grid right
We were
now.
standing out
That's
front
our
watching the
lifestyle,
fire.
off the
I was
grid.
recording it, and I dropped the camera, jumped under a car. My buddy picked it up and was filming them, and he shot 2 shots that way, another shot that way. A guy came out from downstairs with a shotgun and
At this
just waved
Prepper's
it, and I
Ranch,
went back up.
we
That
have
was pretty much
plenty
it.
of apples, pears, apricots, strawberries, and berries to survive.
We go live? We were showing some of this to you live earlier. Then what happened? Apparently,
There are many water filtration tools and little inventions all over the world, and I can't stress how important this little life straw, $20, a little more, a little less, that you can buy at any store that are coming out all over the world, will save your life. These things are super powerful. And once again, this was one of the highlights of in the show on the Discovery Channel, and I'm going to show you again. This is a wild, off-the-grid river coming up right out of the earth, full of good stuff. I'm gonna have a drink.
Like all good preppers, Dave knows he only has 3 days to live if there's no water. Fortunately, he knows how to tap into a supply most Americans would never think of.
This is called a life straw. When the war and the bombs are going off, you're going to need water, and this is probably going to be one of the safe bets in the world to drink. Besides your water here, you open it up, see there's a filter right there, and it's very, very powerful. This is what you're talking about. So here we go. Ready? Toilet water on the rocks.
An amazing little thing, life straw. They're super powerful. I highly recommend it for a prepper, an off-grid person. It'll save your life.
Mankind will be annihilated by an alien invasion.
Get over your ego and your attitude and prepare yourself to be a homeless hobo. The party's over. You could live here for years if you wanted to.
All right, hang tight on the picture. Mark Coogan, Paul, and Ann, come on in. Can you hear us? I'm told we have Mark Coogan, fellows. What's the problem?
Okay, he's at a roadblock with the National Guard, and they're trying to find him on audio, is what
you're
I'm
looking
hearing
at is a National Guard roadblock at Crenshaw Boulevard and Stalker Streets. The bus benches pulled out into the intersection by Humvee-type vehicles, the kind you saw in Kuwait City.
Starting to get that knocked down, but then just as they started to get that knocked down, firefighters or officers, we're not sure which, took at least 1, if not 2 rounds from a building right over here. No one was hit, but all the officers drew their guns and they descended upon
On the
that
show,
building over there.
there were many scenes that were edited out of my defensive skills and techniques, which are like my martial arts, shooting arrows, slingshots, kung fu stars, and my shooting skills. You don't believe me? No alien, no human being, no live nothing will be able to survive that. Start. This is one of our barns where we raise cattle like cows, ducks, geese, goats. They live off the land, completely off the grid. We don't need any outside source. They stay in here during the winter, during the nights, whatever. We're completely protected. We're completely off the system. We will survive and eat well. We grow our own hay, which feeds our livestock. What are you going to do when the apocalypse hits in a big city, when everybody's dying from murder, famine, disease? All the shelves are going to be empty. There's going to be no food. Our shelves are going to be fully stocked.
A mass exodus of cities would seize up all routes out of town. If that happens, Dave Norwoods has his own plans to evade capture.
This machine right here is top of the line. This baby is gonna get me out of this town freaking fast. And I might even go by night, because I have black pants, black leathers, black helmet, and just a little teeny like green vision lights where I can just cut through and see about 20 feet in front of me, and I'll be able to travel by night.
As the last man standing, Dave already scouted out a location which he believes will keep him safe from an alien invasion.
Here we go. I've got all the light I need, I got all the weapons, food, right in this cave right here. I'll be able to make it for months.
Although Dave may be able to survive an alien invasion, what about the rest of us? Ironically, the very thing that almost wiped us out in the 14th century could be the thing that saves us.
Our best weapon might be viruses and bacteria. Consider the Black Plague in Europe. It killed up to 50% of the human population. It may be possible the aliens themselves will be susceptible to viruses here on Earth. That might be what saves human civilization.
With over 3 million preppers in the US alone, the end of the world is fast becoming an obsession. The Mayans predicted it. Nostradamus dated it. Man-made weapons may cause it. And now scientists are 95% certain that climate change is man-made. There is no doubt that whatever the apocalypse, we have brought this upon ourselves.
It's often been said that humans are the masters of our own demise. The only way we're going to survive is to pull the plug, but we should have done that ages ago. It's too late now.
If this doomsday ever arrives, scientists suggest a huge percentage of the world's population will perish in the first 30 days. But if you stockpile supplies and manage to survive the first month, experts predict you'll have a far greater chance of survival. Living in a post-apocalyptic world won't be easy. Foraging for food, defending what is yours, burying loved ones. But our ingenuity and instinct to survive will help us pull through. One thing is certain, these apocalypse preppers are ready. Are you?
When the apocalypse hits, there's going to be disease and famine, and the bodies are going to be stacked up all over the streets. And as a prepper, we're going to come out of the bunkers to clean up the mess, dig the graves.